Hello, my name is Ishwat Kiani and I'm broker with TFN Realty Inc., which is the exclusive brokerage for the two new exciting projects by Empire Communities coming to downtown Toronto soon. Today I'm here with Mr. Dan Floman, Executive Vice President of Empire Communities. Thanks, Dan, for having me here.
Listen, it's a pleasure, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come down and speak with us. For your viewers, your clients and customers, you've been a huge supporter of our company, and we do appreciate it. We've got two very exciting projects coming up, and TFN Realty, the company that you work with, is the exclusive listing brokerage for it, which means that you have, basically first access for the best plans and the best pricing. So I'm very glad you came down today to hear about the projects and be able to introduce the projects to your clients.
Thanks, Dan. Before we talk about the projects, can you tell me a little about yourself and the Empire Communities?
Sure. So I have been in the business for 27 years, 25 of which have been in the development side. And I've been fortunate to work with Empire for many of those years, almost 14, almost 15 years actually, with Empire. And in those 15 years, we have built tons of high-rise buildings in Toronto. We've also one of the largest low-rise builders in Southwest Ontario. We sell over 1,000 low-rise homes a year. But as far as condos, which I know we're here today to talk about condominiums that are coming up, but in condos we've built from Scarborough to downtown Toronto, North York, you name it, we built there. We've built some of the most iconic buildings in the city, including the Beyond the Sea condos in South Etobicoke, which were 3 towers, over 800 units. And we're currently under construction with what's called Eau de Soleil, which is 2 towers connected by a podium. It's a 67 and a 50-story tower, 1,280 units. And we've got these 2 new projects though that are coming up, which I know we're here again to discuss.
Yeah. So the first project that I would like to talk about is the Phoenix by Empire. It's in South Etobicoke. Can you please tell me about the amenities, about the buildings and other stuff?
Sure. Okay, so Phoenix is a very unique project. I actually, I'm very attached to this project because it's an area that is very near and dear to my heart. It's part of the Mystic Point Communities, which is like a subsection, an exclusive section within Etobicoke, which is important. It is also the last remaining piece of Mystic Point, so there'll be no other projects in Mystic Point after we complete this building. So you know that you don't have to worry about a bunch of construction happening in Mystic Point after you've moved in. So the building is actually, it's 2 smaller towers that are connected by a podium. There's actually 499 units in total in the project, and yeah, 499 was regulated. We couldn't get 500, that was the maximum number of units we could do. There's a 29-story and an 11-story tower, and again, it's connected by a podium. The buildings will have some extremely beautiful finishes and facilities, and one of the most unique things about this project is that we will have a Miami-style outdoor pool. Like, there's a lot of indoor pools that they never get used in Toronto. Outdoor pools, Miami style, there'll be cabanas, there'll be a small, like a 6-8 inch area that you can lounge in, and then a deep end, and it's an infinity style pool overlooking a park. So I know you and I were talking before we started the interview, one of the great things about this piece is that there's a park to the south and a park to the west of our project. So, you're able to walk out your building with your dog and be, okay, assuming you have a dog, which a lot of condo residents have, and you'll be able to take them right on the park, right in the parks there. The building does have a large outdoor space. It's got an amazing gym that's going to go in, 24-hour concierge, all the bells and whistles that you would normally get in a higher-end condominium project, but at an affordable price. I won't tell you too much about the pricing yet. Your clients do have first access into the project, so you can, when they call you, you can tell them about the pricing on that stuff. But we've got everything in this project. And one of the key components about this project is that every unit has the opportunity of buying a parking spot. And because, if they come in through you at our exclusive TFN events, parking will be discounted for your clients. And so will lockers. There aren't lockers for everybody, but if your clients want a locker, they'll get a special price, along with a extended deposit program. Again, I'm not prepared to talk too much about it, but your clients will get a very extended deposit program, so they don't have to upfront a lot of money in the first 60 or 90 days. We'll be spreading it out over a year so that it's a more affordable way to purchase a home, which is important, especially when you're buying at Maverick. We do have 1-bedrooms, 1+ dens, 2s, and 2+ dens, but we also have a very select handful of garden suites, which are 2-story units at the base of the building. We're only releasing 10 of them. We're being very upfront about that. There are 40 of them. The most of them will be probably waiting till after the project is complete before we'll be selling those units.
That's great. So can you tell me a little bit about the other project which is coming on the King West, which is the Maverick by Empire?
Sure, absolutely. So Phoenix is in Etobicoke, and Maverick is in King West, and we tried to confuse you with those names. But one of the most important parts of Maverick is it is in King West, but King West is a broad term. King West goes from one end of the city to the other today. We are in the heart of King West Village. We are directly across from the Toronto International Film Festival's area, right in the heart of King West. I can't emphasize that enough. A lot of places call themselves the heart of the city. We truly are the heart of the city, located between 321 and 333 King Street. Again, when the International Film Festival is up and running and the cameras pan along King Street, they'll be panning in front of our building. And that's something you can't put a dollar value on, to be directly across from the Toronto International Film Festival. It's a slightly different building. One of the things that I really like to talk about this building with is that we will be having what we're coining a social architect in the building. And I believe we are the first building in Toronto to do this. I've seen this done in other cities across the world. I've had the pleasure of visiting places like in London and in Dubai and in Hong Kong, and I have seen this in some of those locations, but I haven't seen it in Toronto. And what is the social architect? The social architect is a person that is part of the building, and their job is to curate, in other words, create events for the residents of the building. So as an example, let's say there's a new hot restaurant in Toronto. They may be able to round up a 20-seat sitting for the residents. Or if there's a new exhibit at the AGO, and we have a special viewing for the residents of the building. The residents would have to pay as they go for the actual events, but we're going to have that person whose job is to create those events for the residents. On top of that person, it's a downtown site. We do have a 24-hour concierge. They'll be sitting on the main floor. We have a small little sitting area there, so if you're grabbing an Uber, you can go down. But one of the key components is this concierge, doorman, whatever you want to call it. The main concierge is actually up onto the 5th floor. So they let you in, you go up to the 5th floor, and there is another concierge lounge area. Not a concierge person, the concierge is on the ground floor, but on that level we will have things like a work area, because a lot of our buyers and a lot of the people that will live in the building are Bay Street lawyers and downtown people, a lot of independent people, and we want to create a WeWork-like environment. It's not WeWork, but it's a WeWork-like environment, so that the residents could go down into this area, bring down their laptops, work, so that they're not working from inside their condo. There's a boardroom that they can use if they're having a business meeting. That's all important to us.
Great.
Well, you think about the downtown business person, and even whether you're an end user or a tenant, we treat you the same. It's important that the tenants have access to all of this stuff as well. So it's not just for the end users, but if you are an investor and you're buying, then this is an opportunity for you. The building also has one other unique thing. We like to throw a little thing out that makes us a little bit different. We have an area in the building which we're going to call a beauty bar, for lack of a better word. So you have to understand where our project is located. You can walk up the building and walk to some of the best entertainment, best theaters, best nightlife, best restaurants. So, before you go out on the town, maybe you want to get ready, maybe you want to have your hair done. You and I don't have to worry about that, but others may want to worry about their hair being done. The women, their hair, makeup, nails. So we have a little area that you could reserve. So let's say you're getting together with a handful of friends. Maybe for guys, we'll have a close shave, the straight shave. You hire somebody, they can come and they can do their makeup, they can do their hair, they can do a clean shave before they go out as a group. I always say that our building has a lot of great facilities. It'll have a great gym, it'll have a wine tasting area, great outdoor amenities, outdoor, indoor, so you'll be able to walk from in to out and look onto King Street. So during that TIFF Film Festival, you'll be able to go outside and look down. But one of the most important things about a downtown project, and especially a project like Maverick, is that I'm very biased here. I'm like a fourth generation Canadian, and I always say the best amenity that we have is Toronto. Toronto is an incredible city. I've had the pleasure of living and traveling around the world, and Toronto I still come back to as the place I want to, you know, raise my family and live the rest of my life in. And what a better thing to have than a condo in the heart of one of the greatest cities I've ever experienced. And so Toronto is the greatest amenity that this building has, its location and being part of the city. And those are important things. There is parking available if you have clients that are looking for 3-bedroom units. Parking will be included with all the 3-bedroom units. And that's also something that's rare with a lot of the buildings that are happening downtown. That's, I would say, the big things with the Maverick, the most important parts of the Maverick. And also your access for your clients.
Thanks, Dan, for explaining these two beautiful projects that are coming very soon. Can you, do you want to add anything at the end that my clients or my customers should know about?
Okay, there's a couple of things I'd like to add. First of all, whether you're looking for an investment to put a tenant in, or you're looking to buy as an end user, we really recommend that you speak to him, so that he can, you can find the right unit for that client of yours. You'll call me, and we'll put them together. We'll put the right ownership with the right unit, and that's the most important thing. The other thing I want everybody to understand is that we treat our buildings as though everybody's an end user, an owner of the building. And so the aftercare service, if you are buying for an investment, your tenants will be treated no different than if they were the buyers themselves. So the experience that an investor's clients will have will be excellent. And that to me is a critical component, and often a component that's lost with many of the high-rise buildings. They treat the owners one way and the tenants the other way. We don't look at it that way. Everybody who's living in this building, in our mindset, is a family member of the Empire Communities. And that's a critical component for Maverick. And I really can't emphasize enough that if you are on the fence thinking about buying, to please call you, and then please get me the information as soon as possible so that we can find the right unit that suits your client's best needs.
Can you please tell me a little bit about Mystic Point?
So it's interesting that you say that, because one of the most unique things that a lot of people don't realize about Mystic Point is that Manitoba Street stops at Legion Road. Now there's a Legion Road North and a Legion Road South. And Legion Road North runs north off of Lakeshore. Legion Road South comes south off of basically the Gardner area. But they don't connect, and they don't connect because in the distance is the tracks, and so they stopped, so they didn't continue them. But like Dufferin near King Street, the money has been allocated in the city to allow the streets to connect. So the long-term investment upside to this is well, listen, I can't give you what that number would be, but think about it. Residents now to get to the Lakeshore have to drive up Grand, over Lakeshore, and then down Park, or up the Queensway, and then down Park Lawn to Lakeshore. In the future, they'll be able to get on their bicycles, throw on the rollerblades, just go down Legion Road to Lakeshore, then hop on the Martin Goodman Trail, where they have over 100 kilometers of trail to drive on. It is going to be priceless, if you ask me, when they connect these two roads, because the access down to Lakeshore will be so easy. Keep in mind, Mystic Point is equal distance to, let's say, Mississauga and downtown. You're 20 minutes to downtown, you're 20 minutes to Mississauga. There aren't too many places where you're in the heart of two city centers. So whether you work in Mississauga or you work in downtown Toronto, this is a great location to go to. And also, if you want to be by the lake, it's amazing. Buying at Maverick, buying at Phoenix.
Thank you very much, Dan.
No, it's a pleasure.
Thank you.